Hey guys, welcome to Little Big Podcast. This is episode 129.
Alright, thanks for joining us this week, guys. We have lots of art to get started with, so we're going to go ahead and kick off with that. As usual, first up, we have Tommy's Dough Sackboy, then Sackboy Lover 5's art, Birdman 9013's Killzone art, and the show Photoshop.
Then we have Roberto's Lotso costume. Then we have Blue's drawing. Then we have Goofy Gryffindor's Sack Potter and Pirate Photoshop.
We have Kyle's No More XP drawing, and we really need to get back to giving out XP. I forgot to add that in. Then we have Hunter's 8-Bit Sackboy, Danny's freehand art,
Hannah's Photoshop, Connor's Photoshop, Michael's Two Podcasters drawing,
Tyler's Sackboy planking, Devin's Don't Touch My Car, Gabriel's Crown and LBP Space art.
Then we have JK's Omega Destroyer art, and then LBP Blogger is running a SIG contest on their website, and you can go there and enter, and the winner of the SIG contest will be featured here every week.
Very cool.
Yep.
All right, so then we have some levels for you guys. First up is Tiki Treasure by Jayhawk ER.
All right, now I think we featured the first one in the series 2 weeks ago.
Maybe, yeah.
Something like that. And now there is the second one where you're on a quest to find the second magic, I forget what they called it. It's like a magic cylinder or something for their magic microwave, which is a TV, and you're trying to find a battery, the second battery for it. And it's really funny because, like, you got to go find the battery, and then it's like, oh, come on, it's like right there. And they're like, okay, just go light the rest of the torches. But it used a lot of really cool gameplay components. Like, you would have to grab a certain, like, fire block and then burn through thorns before you could slide down a certain section. And another thing this level really took advantage of was just power gloves. The entire level, there was a lot of challenges with them, and they made very good use of them.
All right, very cool. Our second level is a mini game, and it's called Feed the Chick 2 by Roblox Dragon.
All right, now this one was really fun. It was a 2-player level, so Austin jumped in. And what we did was, or what we had to do was, there's a giant bird. I forget what the name was. It was like Big Bird or something. And it was on the ground. And there would be apples that dropped onto it. And the green apples were rotten apples that would kill you if they landed on you. And
I learned that very quickly.
Yeah, he did learn that very quickly, like 4 times in a row. But you had to drag the red apples into the bird's mouth. And it was really competitive because the first person to grab it would be the person that got the points. So you could either try to get a different apple in there, or you could try to push the other person's apple off the edge with them dragging off.
Right, yeah. So it was a very competitive level, a lot of fun. I can't imagine what 4 people would be like up there. Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It's almost a King of the Hill kind of
game. Yeah, it's kind of like that.
So very cool. Definitely go play that. And then our final level is Bird Bounce Minigame by Sweet KF. Now this is another bird-themed mini game. I have no idea how this happened, but it did. And this one is very undiscovered, and it was a cool level based off of some of the hamster stuff that's in Avalonia. And this is a race of who can bounce their bird through this chamber the fastest.
Right. Now the cool thing about this is the race starts before you even get to the bird. So you have to go up a tube, first person to get up the tube into the bird, and then you have to click X really quickly all the way to the other side, then jump down another tube, and then the winner is the winner. And you get to stand on a podium, and it's first, second, third, and then there's a rain cloud with
for number
rain
4,
for
which
number
I thought
4.
was pretty cool. So
yeah.
Anyway, very cool level. Thanks for some of you submitting those to us. And,
right, super fun 4-player competitive minigame.
We actually got loads of levels that we played through, but just didn't, obviously couldn't feature them all. So thanks for sending those in, guys. Really appreciate that. All right, so moving on to news, we have update 1.05, which added a lot of stuff, including the Spawn Pop Growing Sackboy fix, Overlord
glitch fix. And it also included the level lockout because of bot with DLC. Like if a sack bot had DLC on, then it wouldn't let you into the level. Yeah. But now that's fixed entirely. A lot of sounds there were problems with.
Yeah, they were dropping out during the game. I never had problems with that, but that's fixed for those of you who have had problems with that. There are a bunch of new outfit items added to your Poppet that you collected in the game, just like random outfits that were thrown together from story costumes that you collected, but those are actually pieced together in outfits now.
And they have names.
They do have names.
Since when did Sackboy have a name?
I was kind of wondering that because some of the plushies have names, so I'm thinking that's where that comes from. Then we have some trophy and pin progression issue fixes, and I had a lot of those actually, so that's good to know.
Yeah.
And then we have following Magic Mouth text fixed. So some players were having a problem where they would go back to their pod and a Magic Mouth text would follow them back into their pod, which could get quite annoying.
Right.
So that's fixed now.
And they also fixed the misplaced pop-it objects. There was a couple things in the wrong category, and they fixed that. Also, they improved the randomizer. The way they worded it was like hilarious. They randomized the randomizer to make it more
very cool.
random.
And then we improved some host migration. So like when someone would leave the game, the new host, the migration to the new host is a little bit more efficient.
It's not
now.
like, oh, lost player.
Right, so it works a lot better now. And then we have a decreased frequency of the load screen. That's actually been happening with us a lot recently too. And so that's now fixed, and you're going to be seeing that a lot less often. But I do like the little clever phrases that they've thrown in there at the bottom. So I'm going to miss that. And then the free Toy Story voice gibberish voices have been added to your Magic Mouth options. So definitely go try that out. And then the store UI has been updated. It's a huge overhaul. Looks brilliant.
It's much easier to find your way around.
To navigate. So there's a list for all the stuff that you already own. You can go through and see all the different level packs and click on those and go immediately to those.
Right.
And all your different costume packs.
Yeah, the outfits listed that were downloaded.
Right. And then you can go into the store and it lists them in date order or price order or any of the other orders you can imagine. You can filter it down to costume packs or just levels or just the stuff that you don't have or all the other stuff. So it's a really nice store overhaul. You can add all the stuff to your cart. Even with the Final Fantasy DLC, which we're about to talk about now, you can like check and uncheck the different costumes, and it'll automatically bundle them as soon as you select all 4 of them. Right. So that's a very cool feature, and the store looks great now, so you can pretty much purchase all your DLC without hassle in Little Big Planet now. So very cool. All right, and speaking of DLC, the infamous 2-pack is now out, as you saw. Also, the Final Fantasy VII costumes are now out. They're $199 a piece. There are 4 of them, and then there's a 5-pack. Actually, it comes with a bonus costume in the 4-pack, and that is $5.99.
Surprise, surprise! Though the Killzone 3 DLC came out for some strange reason. It was
early
supposed to come
in
out
North
the
America.
20th,
right.
And it came out the same day as Final Fantasy. So there was a lot of DLC hitting the store that day.
Yeah, so we got some early DLC, and that's very unusual and awesome. So I guess that's not out in Europe yet. We're going to check back with some dates, but I'm imagining it's just going to come out normal schedule for you guys.
Tuesday.
But I think it was released a little bit early over here in North America. So very cool stuff. And then we have the Toy Story 3 DLC kit, which obviously is going to have some more updates pretty soon here. And 1.05 was pretty much all of the stickers and the levels and stuff like it. That's already in the game. Buying the DLC should just unlock it. Right. So it's in there now, and shouldn't be too much longer before all of that hits.
An interesting side note. If you'll remember, each level is 12 megabytes. So when you download this, you actually are probably downloading not the entire Toy Story pack, because how many levels did it say there were? There was like 9?
Plus minigame. Well,
plus a couple minigames.
That is including the minigames.
With the minigames. Right, yeah. So it's partial Toy Story DLC if I read this
just the
right.
assets,
right?
Like most of the stuff. So
so that was really
all right. And then our Mind the Gap update. We do have all of our level synopsises from our finalists, and those have been sent over to Media Molecule along with a detailed video and the playthrough, obviously. And they're going to be judging those, and they are judging those as we speak. So we should have results hopefully by next week for episode 130. That would be cool. And we might get a surprise interview or something. I don't know. We'll surprise you guys with something. So yeah, and then we have a tutorial channel that we just were informed of, Scorp Skull, and he wanted us to let you guys know to check out his channel for a bunch of cool creation tutorials in Little Big Planet.
Right. And finally, we have the St. Louis meetup from July 29th to the 31st. And it looks like that's going to be going pretty steady. It's going to be about 20, 25 people. So if you haven't heard about it until now, I think there's still time.
There is still time to get there. So the group rate room discount thing has officially ended, but you can still make it there. So
right. And it would be really cool to go there and hang out with all the different people. So make sure you check that out, lbpcentral.com, and you can see everything on that.
All right, very cool. Well, thanks for joining us this week, guys. I'm Austin.
I'm Daniel.
And I'm not even going to go through all of our contact info because it's just going to be right here on the screen anyway. So, yeah, be sure to tune in next Friday. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors and relatives, and your cats and dogs.
One final shout out. Our shirts, we've been wearing some fresh shirts. We had a lot of comments on them last week, some questions where we got them. Threadless.com, they're a really cool t-shirt site, and they're pretty cool. They have a lot of t-shirts up there, a lot of choices, and they're hilarious. So make sure you go visit them.
All right, sounds good. Well, we'll see you guys next week. I'm Austin.
I'm Daniel.
For the 4th time, goodbye.
Bye.